production possibilities curve, or some economists refer to it as the production possibilities frontier, is the first graph that we'll learn in economics, and it's a graph or a diagram that represents different combinations of goods or services an economy can produce when all productive resources are factors of production, when they are fully employed. A classic example is guns and butter. This does not literally mean guns and butter. The guns represent capital goods, the machinery and equipment used to produce finished goods and services, and the butter represents the actual finished goods and services, because you can eat butter in theory, but it doesn't only represent guns and butter. So you have alternative possibilities where production can take place anywhere on or inside the frontier. So you have the red graph, or the red line, that represents the production possibilities frontier. Guns represent capital goods, and economists always graph the capital goods on the y-axis and the consumer goods on the x-axis. So point A is just a production possibility. It's if anywhere that's on the curve is considered to be an efficient point. Point A is just a production combination in which more capital goods or guns are being produced and fewer finished goods or services or butter is being produced. Point B is where you have fewer capital goods, more consumer goods. Point C, you have more butter, more consumer goods. Point E is inefficient, because any point inside this curve means that you have some sort of productive resource, such as a factor of production, land, labor, capital, or entrepreneurs, that are being underutilized or not utilized at all. So this is where you have high unemployment rates when you're inside the curve. So you can look at point E and know that this economy is operating with high unemployment rates. Conversely, if we look at point D, it's outside of the curve, and that is a dream or impossible without the addition of an increase in technology, international trade, or more productive resources gained. So what does that look like when we actually move? The entire curve, when you have economic growth, which you have increased productivity from additional factors of production, technology, or international trade, the entire curve expands outward because we've increased overall production completely. So some assumptions that go along with the PPC or the PPF. If it is referred to as a PPF or the PPC, please understand that is the same thing. When there are points along the curve that we just looked at, it could be A, B, or C. That means that the economy is operating at full employment, which doesn't mean that there's no unemployment. It just means that there's an unemployment range that's in between 4 and 6%. And so the economy is operating at full employment or productive efficiency. They're efficiently operating using all available resources. They have fixed resources, which means that they will not have additional factors of production unless they trade for them, basically. They have fixed technology. They have at least 2 products, capital and consumer goods usually, and PPFs or PPCs can be drawn using a production possibilities table. So changes in the PPF curve or the PPF can appear. Allocative efficiency is an important concept because it's the most valued or optimal point on the curve, and this is where the marginal benefit equals the marginal cost, and we will look together in class at the example on page 28. Unemployment rates, when the unemployment rate goes up, then the you move to a point inside the curve to show that you're not operating efficiently anymore, because you have workers, you have factors of production that are not being used to contribute to the economy when they are unemployed. So that's productive inefficiency. And in order to make the PPC curve grow or expand outward, you have to get additional technology, additional resources, and or you can do that through international trade if you don't like find another oil reserve out there, which would be a factor of production. If you don't find another oil reserve under, say, Oklahoma, then you can get additional oil to expand the economy through international trade.